Jones is there. Sonia?
Phenomenal in Jamaica. She was a late add to the race, and she was a surprise winner there. She trains with Gabby Thomas and just looks really good in Kingston.
Maribel Caicedo, the South American record holder from Ecuador, is in the race. Very international feel to all of these fields that they've put together in there. Alasia Johnson came through, had a great race last year and made her way to Paris after a great run in the Olympic trials. She's got a PR of 12:31, and then the Olympic champion Masai Russell.
Man, she's had a great year. Her first year, she was Olympic champion, her first year pro. She won in Drake last week, had a good indoor season. I am excited to see what she will do here.
She will surprise you. Lane 5 is going to be open. That's where Samba Mayela was supposed to be, the Olympic silver medalist. She's gone. Akira Nugent, fine Jamaica hurdler, another one of those Arkansas Razorbacks. And I think spent a year at Baylor as well, if I'm not mistaken. She's run 12:24, so she was in the Paris final. Kenny Harrison, love to see her in a race.
Yeah, former world record holder at this event. She was added to the field here. Saw her on the elevator. She says she is super excited to run. And with that 100-meter PR last week, she's feeling really good.
And then Megan Tapper fills it out third at the Tokyo Games. So she's got an Olympic medal, which is always good on your mantle to have one of those. So that's your field for the race. Responsibility for calling that race is our fine booth of Steve Cram, Anson Henry, and Kerry Tullefson. Gang?
Well, there was a little twitch there from Russell, but they're away cleanly. Tia Jones going well over in lane 1 as well, but it's Russell in the middle, and Jones perhaps just has the lead here. It's going to be very tight on the line. Very tight indeed. That's perhaps Russell just getting it. The tape wraps itself around Russell's midriff. 12, is that right? I'm looking at the clock here, 12.17? Really? We've got to wait for the wind reading here.
It says 2.0, I think.
It says 2.0.
It says 2.0.
12.17. Now, if that wind reading is correct, no wonder they're running around looking at each other saying, is this right? Because Masai Russell has just...
Hey, I said she was going to come back and do something, right? I didn't think she was going to come back and break the world record.
But what about Jones? 12.19. Okay, so what a way to start. That's we talk about racing and bringing your A game. You're the Olympic champion. You well, not at your best in the first Grand Slam. And Tia Jones, just phenomenal. Nugent, 12:34 in third, and was a long way back.
You want to know something? With Samba Mayela out of the race, I think a lot of the women kind of calmed down a little bit. Really, it was tough luck for her, but usually athletes are like, well, you know, it's one less person I got to worry about. And I was a silver medalist at the Olympics, but Masai Russell coming through with 12:17.
I'm still processing this.
Yeah, man. I don't really know what's happening right now,
you look down the list. I mean, that's an American record for Masai Russell. Tia Jones is, you know, just run something that I don't think she could have dreamed of running, 12:19. Even Kenny Harrison, 12:40 in fourth place. And that was without Samba Mayela, who sadly had to pull out. There, the result of the points as well, 12 to Russell.
12.17 seconds. That number rewrote history in Miami, and almost nobody saw it coming. Messiah Russell entered the Grand Slam track meet as the reigning Olympic champion. Her personal best coming in was 12.25, set at the U.S. Olympic Trials in Paris 2024. Good enough to win gold, not good enough to suggest what was about to happen. So the question this video answers is simple. What changed between Paris and Miami? And why did it produce the second fastest women's 100-meter hurdles performance in history? Watch what happens at the third hurdle in the footage you just saw. That's where this race was decided, not at the line. We'll come back to that moment. The women's 100-meter hurdles is a race of 10 barriers, each 84 centimeters high, spaced 8.5 meters apart after a 13-meter approach from the start blocks. Elite women clear those barriers at speeds approaching 9.5 meters per second. At that velocity, the margin between a world record and a mediocre performance is measured in hundredths of a stride cycle. What that means technically, A hurdler who loses 0.04 seconds of ground contact per hurdle across 10 hurdles loses 0.4 seconds total. The difference between 12.17 and 12.60 is not fitness. It is mechanics, applied 10 times in under 13 seconds. Russell's reaction time off the blocks in Miami was logged at 0.131 seconds. Elite, but not exceptional. Tia Jones reacted in 0.128 seconds, marginally faster. Russell did not win this race on reaction. She won it in the middle 8 hurdles. Here is what most people assume about sprint hurdling. The fastest, top speed wins. The evidence in Miami tells a different story. Jones, trained alongside Gabby Thomas and entering on the back of an impressive Kingston performance, was the pre-race speed threat. Her personal best of 12.21 and her recent form suggested she could push through the barriers at high velocity. And she did. Jones finished second in 12.19 seconds, a time that under any other circumstances would have broken the previous American record of 12.20, set by Keene Harrison in 2016. On a normal night, Jones wins this race. Russell's advantage was not speed between the hurdles. It was clearance efficiency over them. Analysts tracking her flight phase in Miami clocked her lead leg attack angle at approximately 11 degrees above horizontal, flatter, and more aggressive than the 13 to 14 degree range, typical of hurdlers prioritizing height over carry distance. A flatter clearance means less vertical displacement, which means less deceleration on landing. Over 10 hurdles, that translates directly into maintained horizontal velocity. The physics are unforgiving. Every centimeter you rise above the minimum necessary height is centimeters per second you bleed on the descent. What's most surprising about this performance isn't the time. It's how Russell produced it on trail leg mechanics that have historically been her developmental focus. The trail leg in Miami showed a tighter fold, arriving across the barrier with the knee elevated and the foot dorsiflexed earlier in the cycle. That single mechanical adjustment reduces the drag coefficient of the trail leg swing by shortening its arc, allowing the hips to stay square to the direction of travel rather than rotating laterally. Lateral hip rotation is a speed killer in hurdles. Eliminate it, and you recover the next stride faster. What this result tells us about women's sprint hurdling right now is that the technical ceiling is being raised simultaneously by multiple athletes. Russell's 12.17 puts her 0.05 seconds behind Toby Amason's world record of 12.12, set in Eugene in 2022. Jones's 12.19 makes her the third fastest in history. The compression of the all-time list inside a single race meet is not coincidence. It reflects a coaching generation that has systematically addressed trail leg mechanics and hip alignment in ways that were not standard practice 5 years ago. So why did Russell take the 0.02 margin over Jones? The answer is in hurdles 7 through 9. By hurdle 7 in a 100-meter hurdles race, the athlete's stride pattern is locked. You cannot consciously adjust at 9.3 meters per second. Whatever technical training has embedded in the neuromuscular system is what executes. Russell's video analysis shows a 3-stride cycle between barriers that holds its rhythm through hurdle 9, the point where fatigue-induced stride shortening typically begins to compress the takeoff distance and force a high, inefficient clearance. Jones, by contrast, shows a subtle lengthening of ground contact time between hurdles 8 and 9, suggesting a fractional loss of elastic energy return from the Achilles. The result is a 0.02 second gap that was not visible to the naked eye and did not appear at the line until the timing system confirmed it. Put yourself in the analyst's seat watching this in real time. Would you have known at the gun which athlete had the mechanical edge? Comment whether you caught the shift between hurdles 7 and 9 in the footage. Keene Harrison finished 4th in 12.40. That number requires context. Harrison set the former world record of 12.20 in 2016. A decade later, She is running 12.40 and finishing outside a podium that posted 12.17, 12.19, and 12.34. The depth in this event has accelerated faster than any other sprint discipline in the last 8 years. Akira Nugent's 12.34 in third is itself a performance that would have placed her on the Olympic podium in Tokyo. Here is the take that will get pushback. The Grand Slam track format, with its compressed field construction and late additions like Russell, is producing better competitive environments than the Diamond League model. When athletes know the field 2 weeks out instead of 2 days out, tactical preparation changes. Russell knew Jones was in this race. That knowledge shaped her race plan. Competitive pressure with preparation time is not incidental to a 12.17. It is part of the mechanism. Will the women's 100-meter hurdles world record fall before the World Championships? Comment yes or no, and tell us which athlete you think breaks it. Russell's Miami performance is not an anomaly. It is the product of Olympic cycle preparation, a refined clearance model, and a competitive field that forced her mechanics to execute without margin. The 0.05 gap to Amazon's world record is the smallest it has been since Amazon ran it. The technical pathway to 12.12 is visible now in a way it was not in Paris. The one thing to watch in every future hurdles race after this. Count the strides between barriers 7 and 9 and track whether the takeoff point shortens. That compression is the earliest visible signal of a race unraveling. In Miami, Russell's did not compress. That is the entire story in one mechanical detail. If you want to understand how Amazon's world record was actually constructed, the stride pattern, the clearance angle, the one technical decision that separates 12.12 from everything below it, that breakdown is next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And like this video if the mechanics finally clicked.